Today on Cooking with a Lion, we're making a simple and delicious meal that is a celebration of summertime's tastiest ingredients. And it's all happening right now. Let's get started. I'm not sure about you, but there are a few ingredients that just scream summertime to me. I have a few of them actually already in this bowl. What I have are some small tomatoes, really flavorful grape tomatoes, a couple small to medium-sized zucchini. You can use summer squash as well, about medium dice, and then some fresh corn that I've sliced right off the cob, keeping it as fresh and delicious as possible. To this beautiful trilogy of deliciousness, I'm going to add a few things. Fresh thyme, because thyme has this wonderful herbaceous but lemony flavor. There's no need to pick them off the stems. Just go ahead, give them a quick bruise, squish them with your fingers, and just pop them in there like that. Keep it nice and simple and fresh. Also adding a fair amount of garlic. Now, it's a lot of garlic, but don't let that scare you off. It's 10 large cloves with a small chop. Just go ahead and chop it however you want. And because this is going to be cooking for just about 30 minutes, it's not going to be harsh, it's not going to be really strong. It's actually be slightly sweet and very tame, just like a nice summery bath in warm garlic butter, okay? So I have those two ingredients. You do need some salt and pepper. Just go ahead and season that from nice and high, right? And then freshly ground black pepper, all right? Now, the oils that we have in here right now is the garlic and the thyme, and also that black pepper has essential oils. So you need a little bit of oil to sort of get all those flavors going. You also need a little bit of oil to coat these vegetables so they don't steam. I don't want them to steam, I want them to caramelize and get more flavor. So just go ahead and give this a quick but thorough stir. And once all these ingredients are mixed together, I'll be transferring it, spreading it out on a sheet pan lined with aluminum foil and a little bit of parchment paper for ease of cleanup. We're gonna spread this out nice and even, right? Don't want big clumps because I don't want it to steam, like I said. The more it's spread out, it's actually gonna sort of evaporate. All that heat will get to the vegetables and that will be more and more flavor, all right? So there we go. That looks like a good little bed. A bed for what? What are we tucking into this delicious summertime bed? Well, we're gonna add just a bit more flavor, okay? Feta. Feta and tomatoes go really well. Feta and zucchini go really well. In fact, feta and thyme go really well. So we're gonna go ahead and dollop a little bit of feta right over the top. And feta is it's a little wet, it's a little creamy, but what happens is when it hits that high heat, it starts to dry out, and you actually get a little bit of caramelization in it as well. It's just fabulous. And there we go. Now, the pairing of corn and butter, classic pairing. One of the great things about having butter in this dish is that when the tomatoes and the zucchini give up their liquid, the butter actually melts and it starts to bubble together, and it makes a nice little sauce. So it's an instant sauce with butter and vegetables. And you're lucky some of those tomatoes might pop along the way as well. It gives this beautiful, beautiful harmonization of flavors. And lemon. I took one whole lemon, sliced the ends off, and I just sliced it as thin as I could, like 1/8 of an inch thick, and just pull the seeds out. And that's where I am now. And just sort of place them randomly over the vegetables. Because the lemon juice and the zest, it still has the zest on it, will keep it nice and fresh, very vibrant. And that juice is just lovely as far as the acidity of these fresh vegetables. All right? Have fun with this. You kind of can't go wrong as far as placement, and it just naturally goes together. This in itself is spectacular. This is like the summer essence distilled onto one really easy to clean up sheet tray. I don't have to, get the grill going, the flames clean up. This is really, really simple. But a lot of people like to do some barbecue, okay? Grilled chicken. What I did over here is I have some boneless, skinless chicken thighs that I'm gonna place over top. And I went ahead and just mixed them together with a little salt, pepper, and a little bit of barbecue sauce to get the whole flavor profile going. Now, the thing about the chicken thighs is there's one portion that's thicker than the other. The thicker portion I'm simply placing toward the corners of the sheet pan. Now, why would you do that? Well, The thicker portion is going to take a little bit longer to cook unless it gets more direct heat, which it does on those corners. When the heat comes from the bottom of the oven and envelops the corners, it'll actually cook a little more uniformly than if you just put them in the middle of the sheet tray. So the thicker part goes to the corner. This is somewhere between like 1.5 pounds and 1.75 pounds of chicken thighs. That's about 5 chicken thighs. That's enough for 4 people. This is a lot, feeds quite a bit. And this last one, the thicker portion, I'll just go ahead and put toward the side, okay? The oven is preheated to 400 degrees and they bake for 30 minutes. But after 15 minutes, halfway through, I'm simply gonna flip each of the chicken thigh pieces and pop it back in the last 15. It's been a half an hour. Everything is cooked through, but I want a little bit more brought to the game. So more what? Well, flavor is one of those things I want. I want more barbecue sauce, and I also want a little bit of char on that chicken, and maybe even some of those vegetables as well. So what I've done is I've already turned the oven to broil, all right? And my oven broils from the top, so we're gonna get a lot of intense heat for about 4 to 5 minutes. And what's gonna happen is this barbecue sauce is going to caramelize. You're gonna get those beautiful burned, charred bits on the chicken, and maybe even a few of these tomatoes will get nice and charred as well. And that's actually what we're going for. We're going for more flavor, not less. Okay, that looks great. Be nice and careful, it's still really hot. Put this under the broiler and keep an eye on it. It's pretty hot, between 4 and 5 minutes. We'll see what it looks like then. Look at that. That is exactly what I wanted to have happen. You've got these beautiful charred bits on the top of the corn. Even these thin slices of lemon are slightly charred. It's a thing of beauty. And you want to jump in and eat it right away. But you know what? Hot tomatoes stay hot for a long time. And these chicken thighs can actually do for a small rest. So what I'll do is I'll let this cool down for just a couple minutes. I'll come back and we'll serve it up. I think we have waited long enough. Still pretty hot, so be careful. But this is summertime bounty on a sheet tray, right? And it's super easy. All these things go just so well together. Let's grab ourselves a little bit of everything. But it's hot. It's hot. Here we go. Summertime, and living is easy. That's phenomenal. It's so good. This is so much flavor because the first thing I tasted the tomato, the fresh acidity of that tomato. It's a grape tomato. It's not a big honker tomato you would slice on your burger. Save those beefsteaks for your burger. This one stays nice and soft. And in fact, it actually dehydrates and the flavors get more and more intense. That lemon, thin slices of lemon, you would think it would be crazy tart, but it's not because it's baked for 30 minutes. It's like a chill version of lemon. Sunning itself on the beach, you still get that wonderful lemon flavor, but it's more like a heady oil that you have with the lemon flavor. The corn and the butter, come on, best friends, pals to the end. Can't get better than that. And also the feta and tomato and corn works beautifully together. And honestly, zucchini is down. You want to stuff him and bake him, he's happy. You want to put him on a grill, he's great. He's in the mood for a thing any time of the year. But that chicken, because it's chicken thighs, you have such a wide variety of temperatures that it's going to be great for. If it's chicken breast, you might get a little dried out chicken breast, chicken jerky, but chicken thighs are great from 165 all the way to 195. So it's going to be flavorful and succulent and wonderful. And that last little bit of smothering of the barbecue sauce got charred. You kind of smell that sugar in the air when you bring it out. The same thing when you open that grill or barbecue and that char, it's right here. Summertime, it's great. A wonderful weekend, invite your friends over, get the big pot of water for the corn, get the big bowl for your tomato and feta salad, and start the grill. But during a weeknight, when you want to have dinner on the table in half an hour, and you want to enjoy all the bounty that summer has to offer, this is the dish for you. Cheers.